we're doing something a little bit different, okay? Today, I'm gonna do a summer 2022 anime guide for you guys. So some of these animes only have like 3 to 4 or even 1 episode out as a recording of this stream, but just give you a little taste, a little teaser to see if you guys should sink and invest your time into these shows. Because I've heard the summer season is basically called mid. Like, it's mediocre, it's trash, there's nothing good to watch, and I'm gonna have to agree, at least for some of these shows. But there are some sleepers though. Don't get it twisted. There are definitely some sleepers that you guys should look out for that I can recommend to some of you guys, okay? But for this list specifically, you know, the heavy hitters, if you guys are already into Overlord, it's good. You look at the mouse scores, it progressively gets better. Rent a Girlfriend. Thanking God that he didn't make me a Rent a Girlfriend fan. God bless. Devil's Part-Timer. I mean, fans have been begging for a season 2, but I was not one of those fans. Kote, I mean, can't go wrong with Kote. Made in Abyss, pretty good world building. Things get pretty tense, pretty dark. I don't really want to get stuck on a lot of these old IPs. I really want to introduce you guys to the new IPs of the summer 2022 season. Call of the Night. Far from your average high school boy, Ko, our MC, rejects a cute girl that has a crush on him. Nah, bruh, you ain't talking crypto. I don't want to talk. Wait, what? Let me get this straight. So he's actually just an average middle schooler that doesn't understand the meaning of love. So instead of taking the leap of faith and saying yes to learn how to receive and reciprocate love through his first relationship, Bo drops out of school wondering night, gets lured in by a vampire mom. He gets banned, is okay with it because he wasn't going to turn into one. Then finds out the way you become a vampire is to fall in love with one. Then he asked the vampire mom Nazuna to help him turn him into a vampire because he wants to understand how to love. Look, the premise on paper seems messy, but Ko is tired of his ordinary school life, so that's why he wanders the night of Japan. And man, is this anime such a vibe with the beautiful backdrop, the color of the night scenes, contrast characters so well, makes them pop. Speaking of scenes, my gee, hold on. Let me get the tags real quick. Etchy. Nope, we're good. If the pink hair toga isn't enough to convince you to watch Call of the Night, let me play the opening for you. Hey, okay, that's enough. In conclusion, immaculate vibes and a lot of potential for excellent romance. 7 out of 10. To have good romance animes, you must also have fermented dog shit that was left inside a Red Lobster food dumpster that was sitting there for 10 days type of romances. However, I'll say this. If you like incest, or your name is Giga, this show is probably for you. A high school ex-couple now are step-siblings because their parents got remarried to each other. This premise is mild spice compared to the layers that domestic girlfriends stack. However, in the show, they set up a game for whoever acts out of line from how regular step-siblings should behave, then I hope I'm not the only one confused about the stakes. I even read the Mal synopsis for clarification, and that even made me more confused. Let's clarify, one of them gets caught for being horny for the other. The loser has to become the younger sibling, basically playing for the older sibling title. But the game is so unnecessary since they already figure out who is the older sibling. Like, literally, it's just a 30-minute age difference. Also, it's not like a one-time infraction. The game is over. Mizuto already made Yume slip up, and she now has to call him Oni. Oh my god. And Yume was being weird and trying to seduce her stepbrother, which obviously counted as infraction because in what world would you do this to your sibling? Really seems like this game is present to be a recurring plot point, but logically it makes no sense and feels nonsensical. Obviously the step siblings still have feelings for each other, but they present it to the audience in the weirdest way. What am I supposed to get from this? Or did you show you may exceedingly horny for her stepbrother? For the 4-episode runtime, it has done nothing meaningful to add depth to their previous relationship. The dialogue in the show makes it so hard to relate to these characters and reminisce alongside them for the love they still have for each other because their personalities are so fucking bland. Later, side characters introduced and revealed to be a potential love interest for our MC, also to make our main girl jealous. Now, where have I seen that before? Somehow this anime is categorized as a comedy. The only time I laughed was when I read the title. Who thinks of this shit, man? Garbage. I must not watch. 2 out of 10. Oh, hey, another comedy. Surely it's not another average. Oh my god. Oh, wait, did I miss a tag? No, it's not an etchy. Wait. It's still going? Oh my god. Look at it. We need to get like the saliva. Oh, wow, this is really cool animation. Probably the best action sequence this season. Oh, the competing love interest is fighting instead of just throwing their bodies at the main protagonist with a sprinkle of incest. This is so much better. Engage Kiss is an A1 production anime original with pacing that gives me the feeling that I'm inside of an atom smasher. Okay, Kisara is doing the MC's finances while she's selling waifu material. We're at the gym. Yeah, I'm Team Ayano. Always have been. Oh yes, a classy party. Now this is a vibe. Just a couple bros hanging out, smoking cigs.
我が父ハチスカ義輝はこの太平洋上に一つの都市を浮かべ
Okay, but who asked? Oh shit! And you mean at a fancy party? Oh, and got isekai'd. And all that happened in one episode. As fun it is to watch Engage, because it definitely suffers from trying to juggle too much between the action, politics, and romance. The show is jam-packed with well-animated and well-choreographed action scenes to keep you entertained, while exhibition dumping you with politics for the world building, but leaves barely any room for proper build-up for the romance or drama. When a dramatic moment happens between a character, it just feels so unwarranted. However, just for the action scene alone, the show is worth a watch. 6 out of 10. How would I describe this show? Basically, Moe girls do John Wick things. Direct Attack is an organization that finds orphans to turn them into undercover crime-fighting schoolgirls. We follow Takana, a rugged, rebellious girl who's also loose cannon, deranged psychopath? I don't know what else to describe her as. Also Chisato, a wholesome pacifist who used rubber armor-piercing bullets to take down her foes. Look, I'm not the type of person to be like, actually, brother, it's armlet rifle, not assault rifle, but I'll let it slide. I'm not a gun weeb. And I really do enjoy all aspects about this show. Action scenes are definitely inspired by John Wick. I mean, look how they hold their guns. Even the slow slice life moments of the show that takes place in their home base at the cafe, it gives breaks between the high octane gunplay to let the personality of our two characters shine. The chemistry between Chisato and Takina is great because their personality are a dichotomy. Takina is cold, standoffish, while Chisato is bubbly and energetic. Maybe the chemistry is too good.
何私に興味あんの
Hey, there's too much homoerotic energy going on here. I ain't Pride Month anymore. No being gay beyond these points. In all seriousness, if there is romantic subtext, it's cute, it's hype. Go watch it. 7 out of 10. The maid I recently hired as Mysterious has to be the first time I watched the first episode and thought it was repetitive. For some reason, there's no other guardians to take over the duties of the parents, so our MC has to cook, clean, and do other housework. But he sucks at all of them because he's a stupid kid. Makes sense so far, right? One day, a mysterious maid shows up to Yuri's doorstep asking to work for him. He was first hesitant because obviously stranger danger, but eventually he caved in because honestly understandable. The thing that is understandable is Yuri's paranoia. Lilith is reading book out loud. Suspicious. There's not much to do in this mansion. It's not like she has a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox, or TV. She gotta do something to pass the time. Lilith is making food late at night. Suspicious. Does Yuri expect her to do nothing so he can keep eating cup ramen until Hunter x Hunter is completed? Lilith is serving food to the young master. Have to be some sort of drugs inside the food. Suspicious. If anyone wants this kid dead, they would have done it by the doorsteps already. Like, the best way to describe this kid is like XQC playing Among Us. He's like, dude, you're in the vet, dude. Why you need a vet, dude? You see, you're sus as hell, dude. And it's just like, what? I'm just crossing past the vent. And if that reference doesn't make sense to you or you can't connect it rationally, yeah, it's not supposed to. That's the analogy that I'm trying to make. By the end of the episode, the cliffhanger of the show was Lilith running away from her previous home with no opposition. Is there anyone actually interested in the show? I mean, look, I'll give this anime the benefit of the doubt because I'm working off the knowledge of 2 episodes, but it has to be one of the weakest intro in all of modern anime. I'm truly wanting to drop the show, but I'll keep with it to see if it's redeemable. 2 out of 10 so far. The sleeper pick of the season. I'm gonna preface this right now, guys. I'm the CEO of fucking hating isekais, all right? I'm racist against isekais, okay? I hate isekais, all right? Because there's a lot of bad tropes that people like that I don't like in the show. There's just a lot of things. I can go on and on about it. So when I say this show, an isekai, is a sleeper pick out of all the summer shows right now, I feel like that should have some weight to my statement. Isekai Oji-san. Basically, an uncle was in a 17-year coma. During that time, he was actually in another world. Over there, he was a hero who slew monsters and saved townfolks. However, these townfolks mistook our hero as an orc after almost every one of his rescue attempts. Awakening from his coma, he was able to bring back supernatural powers and objects from that world. One of these powers is being able to project his memory on a hologram type screen for his nephew to see. There were a lot of tragic memories that Uncle had to carry back to Earth. However, there were also plenty funny ones as well. For example, he confused an elf as a sassy, rude, cold woman, but he didn't realize she was actually a tsundere because this type of character archetype wasn't popularized yet when he got isekai. So he completely missed out on his only love interest in that world. Takafumi helps his uncle adjust to society while his uncle helps him make his life more convenient by using his fantasy powers and items. As the audience, we're getting world building elements from Uncle's memories holograms while Uncle's experiences his own sense of world building of modern day Japan. As a new anime watcher, some jokes will probably fly over your head, but if you're a seasoned vet of anime, you'll definitely enjoy the humor. And that's why I really think this anime excels at. It's comedy. Jokes are witty and makes good pop culture references, name dropping like actual brands and anime. It's funny, it's wholesome, it's a slept on anime for sure. Definitely give it a try. 8 out of 10. Parallel World Pharmacy. Anji Yakutani dedicated his whole life to medicine because of his traumatic experience of seeing his little sister pass away from an incurable disease. His 31-year life got cut short when he died because he worked too hard. Bro, look what he set his alarm to. After working 3:42 a.m. to 4:42 a.m. the next day. Like, nah, if I stayed up that long, not even nuclear warfare can wake my ass up. After dying, he isekai to a 10-year-old's body. Oh my god, this is so tough. Actually, no, our MC is pretty good in nature, and his primary motivation is to treat everyone else's illnesses and injuries. A boy from a royal family of the Medicis, who was recently struck by lightning, which gave him supernatural powers. These powers help him on his journey to treat every and all illnesses and or injuries that he might be able to spot. However, because of these newly obtained powers and his vast knowledge of medicine, this led the people of this world to be suspicious of the new Falma. 1, the medicine and science of this world is way behind compared to modern day Japan. 2, Falma is acting completely different from the old Falma. The old Falma was frail and had no talent for medicine. I know some isekais, D-gens might be upset about this, but it's pretty focused on its premise and the world building. So unnecessary fan service that breaks up the story's pacing is not present in this show. Applause to the creator for doing that. The bar is so fucking low for isekais, man. It seems like a villain appearance is being teased, which adds so much more layers that could be built to the overarching narrative of Falma's goal to try to give medicine for all and improve this nation's science and medicine. Solid premise, good execution so far. Promising MC, 7 out of 10. The trifecta of red flags: fantasy, harem, and isekai. This show has it all. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World gotta be the first ecchi to make my dick go inverted when a spicy scene happens. Start off with the story. Kaga, our MC, spawns in a new world with bonus items and a basic RPG UI system. A random group of bandits pulls up to the village the MC spawns at. Kaga does the classic sneak attack but screams before actually landing a blow. Experienced gamer with black hair, crazy original concept. Kaga soon realized that this world is no mere VR video game and he actually can die.
俺は人の命を奪った。それは間違いない。だが、物は考えようだ。
That's when our 2 important plot points become apparent. Oh, come on!
奴隷なのか。ってことは変えるんだ。
Why is he so excited about owning a slave? As a hero, shouldn't he want to free her? With the H anime plot initiated, Kaga sets off on his journey to scrounge up enough coins to buy his dream slave. Like, what the fuck? Kill, loot, sell. Kill, loot. Wait. What are we doing? Why am I watching the main character spec out his build? Wait, oh my god, we're still here? Wow, all that for little to no substantial power up or crazy new skills to be immediately shown off? Hello, And Kaga basically said, fuck it. Farming low-level mobs, this shit is gonna take forever. I gotta do some bounty hunting. Oh my god, he just killed a civilian. Relax, man. So let me get this straight. You're okay with killing humans again since you have a new motive that involves buying out a sex slave and making her your own? This episode should encapsulate why I hate the show so much. Roxanne was initially comfortable sitting on the bed without Kaga's permission when he asked to touch her ears. After returning from the egregiously boring shopping trip, Kaga asked Roxanne to have a seat, so she sat on the floor because she didn't have permission to sit on the same bed where your master sleeps. So that's a character inconsistency. On top of that, Kaga just barely totes the line of being an abusive, exploitative master. I knew this was an ecchi, however, this whole show has an edgy tone to it, including in or leading up to the ecchi scene. Gore and immoral motives ruin a lot, if not all, of the Kumar service. Basic isekai premise and world building that got way too much screen time, creating the longest H anime intro that spans along 4.5 episodes. Kaga isn't really a main character I can really root for. This show gotta be a 1 out of 10 for me. Fantasy, ecchi, and no isekai tag. Yo! Vermeil Gold starts us in the life of Alto Goldfield. A student at a magician academy is at risk of repeating a grade because he might fail one class. The requirement to pass that one class is to form a contract with a familiar, basically a companion that fights alongside you. A familiar could be any living creature. RMC, instead of going outside, walking up to a tree, finding a squirrel, giving an acorn, and being like, hey, you wanna form a pack? He decided to summon a busty demon mommy that was inside of a book that dropped on his head and asked her to be a familiar in exchange for periodically getting his mana sucked? I don't know why this show referred Vermeil as a demon. She's clearly a succubus. Like, deadass, she just wants to suck the mana out of my man's cock. However, their relationship is pretty symbiotic. Alto gives her occasional mana-rich kissy poos, and she acts as a human familiar, so she doesn't get any unwarranted attention, if that means anything. I'm saying that because Vermeil got the attention of Lilia, one of Alto's classmates, who is really horny for him. Vermeil also feeds back the mana to Alto when he needs it during the battle that he gets into at school. This happens pretty often since his goal is to ascend the school hierarchy and reach the ranking of Platinum Square, the highest ranking in the academy. Very school battle shonen-esque. Premise is basic, but oh my god, does the ecchi scene go crazy. Unlike Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World, the spicy scene doesn't involve anything immoral. Vermeil is usually teasing Alto with her thick, busty ass body, and Alto just goes, "Oh my god, Vermeil, please put on some clothes on." It's just harmless teasing. The show doesn't do anything spectacular, so I indeed say it's a mid-summer show, but it's worth for the mildly spicy scenes. 5 out of 10. You know what? Some fucking kids ain't too bad. At least specifically the one-child Yakauza guide to babysitting. Toru Kirishima, a ruthless, violent, and handsome. My god, he's hot. Toru Kirishima is a Yakuza member that was tasked with the hardest mission he will ever receive, which was raising his boss's child. Yeah, just like Spy Family, adults that seem not qualified to raise a child are actually the most capable people to do so. Look, I'm very against cross-series power scaling, but Anya Q in his power level is way surpassed of Yeika's. Anya has cute facial expression and adorable sayings. However though, I'm convinced Yeika also has psychic mind reading powers since she was able to make a grown man cry just from her words. She has the emotional awareness and intelligence to understand a complicated, tense relationship between her father and one of his old subordinates. My only problem with the show is Toru is too hot. Like, no, seriously. I wish the characters have the stereotypical Yakuza look. This would make the initial impressions between Toru and Yeika more difficult and meaningful. But when you have a hot chiseled jawline and beautiful hair, it's pretty easy for Yeika's initial stranger danger instincts to simmer down after a few meetings between the two. I get it, it's a shoujo anime. Regardless of that small nitpick, Toru has a similar tragic past to Yeika, which helps him be more understanding of how she feels and overall be a good role model for her. The story and characters are wholesome. 7 out of 10, give it a try. That's it. I know I'm missing a few animes this season, but I can't be fucked to watch every single anime that came out this season. When you have dog shit isekai and smellier dog shit isekai, these were the ones that had a unique premise or one aspect that could hook me or a broader audience. To answer the question, is this summer 2022 anime season mid? Fuck yeah, have you seen last season? And look at what we have for next season. It's absolutely fucking stacked.